Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, my team and I will be presenting our recommended strategies for Singtel. My team consists of Dominic, Kawing, Jiajun, William, and myself. Singtel is known to be one of the major TMT players in Asia Pacific. In their journey to establish their position in the region, Singtel focused heavily on acquiring other telcos in the APAC countries like Optus from Australia and Bharti Airtel from India. Over the years, Singtel has also ventured in other technological businesses such as digital marketing, cybersecurity, cloud computing, and other ICT-related services. In doing so, they hope to achieve their mission of using technology to help other individuals and businesses to make the world a better place. Now, let's move on to the SWOT analysis. Firstly, Singtel has a strong presence in APAC with over 720 million customers located across 21 countries. This presents a large customer base with a sizable amount of customer data and insights for Singtel to leverage on to improve their business models to stay relevant. As such, Singtel was able to utilize their network to remain sustainable despite market saturation. Besides that, Singtel's extensive digital innovations and infrastructure like the 5G network leadership has allowed them to be well equipped to capture new opportunities. Lastly, Singtel's strong focus on ESG criteria have allowed them to remain attractive to stakeholders like investors and the government, all which are highly essential for their business sustainability. However, Singtel faces a few weaknesses as well. From our internal analysis, we have identified that Singtel faced a decline in operating revenue from Singapore's consumer segment due to the increasing competition from new MVNOs in the market. Considering the maturity of Singapore's market, Singtel is at a disadvantage as there is little room for growth. Moreover, Singtel's heavy reliance on both Singapore and Australia consumer segments presents a weakness as their poor financial performance has had an amplified negative effect on the company's finances. Lastly, Singtel's digital life and strategic portfolio is a loss-making segment where more can be done to improve its efficiency and product offerings.
We have identified three main opportunities for Singtel. Firstly, there is a growing TMT market in the APAC region. This can be attributed to the increasing trend in digitalized lifestyles among consumers as they seek ways to enhance their day-to-day activities to provide greater convenience and cost efficiencies. Furthermore, APAC's growing middle class and strong potential for urbanization represents a great opportunity for Singtel to capitalize on. The deployment of 5G capability is also an opportunity for Singtel due to the combination of cutting-edge AI and digital synergies of devices through IoTs. This can bring about considerable technological advancements that can improve the lives of many and also stir economies to greater heights. This will complement Industrial 4.0, hence building a stronger digitalized society. The last opportunity is the increasing demand for smart technologies at home, where consumers are looking for technological efficiencies to improve their standards of living, as they head towards a more digitalized lifestyles. Moving on to threats, competitive pressure in the TMT market is a cause of concern for Singtel. This is largely due to the existence of major players in the technology and OTT markets such as Google and WhatsApp. This represents a challenge to Singtel as these services can serve as substitutes to Singtel's conventional telecommunication services. Furthermore, these players have very strong expertise and ecosystems that can make it hard for Singtel to expand its services into the TMT market. Another threat we identified is the extensive government regulations which Singtel relies heavily on to provide their services. These regulations can increase if Singtel were to expand their services into adjacent markets, hence increasing the barriers of entry. The risk of changes in these frameworks can also create instabilities in Singtel's operations, which can cripple their sustainability.
Our first key strategic issue is that Singtel's main consumer segment in Singapore and Australia are saturated with no room for growth, as the markets are highly developed with multiple competitors flooding the respective markets and undercutting the incumbent companies. This presents a bleak market outlook and a persistent drop in revenue can be observed as a result. With high reliance on the two main consumer segments will stagnate Singtel's growth and threaten long-term profitability. We plan to solve this by entering the Vietnam market via a partnership with Vinaphone to launch a mobile virtual network operator or MVNO. The reason for choosing Vietnam is because it is one of the fastest growing emerging economies in the Asia Pacific region. The government recently started deregulating the telecommunication sector to encourage market competition, which presents an opportunity for a seasoned player like Singtel to enter the market. Vietnam's government has also released a nationwide digitalization plan, and this would lead to demand for mobile data and internet services. Society has also embraced technology and adopted a mobile-first mentality, with the smartphone being essential in everyday life. Vinaphone is the second largest telco in Vietnam with an extensive mobile network coverage across Vietnam. Its cities currently has 5G and is rapidly expanding its 5G coverage. As an MVNO is an asset-light company that doesn't own its own infrastructure, this makes startup costs low for Singtel and presents minimum business risks should the venture not pan out. We recommend first setting up in Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi before expanding nationwide, as the cities are the most densely populated areas. This will be done by leasing the infrastructure and network from Vinaphone, benefiting both Vinaphone and Singtel. We also recommend offering competitive mobile, data, and internet services to quickly gain market share, as the market is still growing and does not have a lot of players. We believe the recommendation to be feasible due to the low setup costs and higher profit margins than a regular telco, which allows Singtel to be profitable in the long run. Also, there is currently only one other market player in the MVNO segment in Vietnam. Should the initial cities be successful, it will be easy to scale up to expand to other cities and provide services to existing customers. Successful case studies are Vietnam Mobile, which is a joint venture between Hanoi Telecom and Hutchison Asia Telecom Group to penetrate the market, and Circles Life, a successful MVNO in Singapore, that show that the recommendation is feasible.
The telecom market has reached a point of saturation. The introduction of MVNOs and the disruption by OTT players have effectively captured a large portion of telecom business. This has reduced Singtel's profitability and diluted its value proposition. To stay relevant in an increasingly digital world, telecom companies must seek new growth opportunities that combines emerging technologies with their core competencies. The global smart home market is worth $35 billion today. Over the next 5 years, the market is expected to grow at 18% per annum. While most of the revenue generated today is attributed to North America, we believe that APAC has the potential to dominate the smart home market due to the large number of households in the region. Therefore, our second strategy is for Singtel to position itself as an enabler of smart home technology. As current smart home systems are limited by incompatibility, Singtel should develop a platform-based ecosystem that integrates third-party smart devices with a unified interface for consumers. This will allow Singtel to create a new revenue stream and increase the stickiness of its existing products. Singtel is well poised to capitalize on the opportunities thanks to its strategic assets. Singtel's technical capabilities are strongly geared towards network access. Furthermore, smart home devices can be challenging to set up. Singtel has had a long history of providing innovations to home consumers. As such, they are seen as the natural choice to navigate the next generation of tech. A strong ecosystem necessitates collaboration. We recommend collaborating with the best of breeds in key smart home categories such as security, lighting, and energy. Furthermore, Chinese tech giants like Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent have recently entered the smart home industry. A collaboration with them could benefit both parties, as Singtel can assist in scaling its products to a larger audience.
For the third strategic issues, we have identified that Singtel's reliance on single growth engine has backfired. The telecommunication sector has been on decline and forced Singtel to reorganize its business. Besides, many MNCs has also revamped their business model, focusing in dual and triple growth engine. As such, apart from digital services, Singtel should diversify its business. We are proposing Singtel to enter into renewable and clean energy business through operating its own solar farm. Renewable energy has been identified as one of the fastest growing sectors both domestically and globally. This is mainly because of the increasing environmental awareness and requirement for business to meet ESG. Furthermore, Singapore government is currently pushing for Singapore Green Plan 2030 and would like the current players to quadruple the solar energy production. This has made the industry to be viable. Some other consideration will be the limited space constraint and environmental concern. We can address this by creating a floating solar farm in a non-potable reservoir. This will allow us to maximize the space usage while reducing environmental concern. Other concern will be efficiency. Singapore gets an average of 5 hours of sunlight per day in wet season and 9 hours in dry season. This provides abundant energy to be harvested for the farm's efficiency. For the implementation, we suggest Singtel to use the state-of-the-art photovoltaic modules, which are shown to be highly efficient. For the location, Singtel can select reservoir with non-potable water like Pandan or Kranji Reservoir. We can also contract ST Marine to build the floating platform. As Singtel is already providing electricity through Singtel Power, we can leverage on their network with Singapore Power to tap on the national grid line. The diversification into renewable energy has also proven to be very suitable, as KT Corporation in Korea and entity in Japan has generated substantial income from this business segment. This strategy is in line with Singtel's current strategy, thereby helping them to achieve sustainable growth. In conclusion, our three recommendations of market penetration into Vietnam, establishing smart home IoT platform, and venturing into renewable energy sector would allow Singtel to capitalize on opportunities, address its threats and weaknesses. Singtel will also have multi-growth engine into the future, thereby achieving long-term sustainability. We have come to the end of our presentation. Thank you very much.